and ready to glue. I put the glue on using a roller. It really speeds things up. Plus I found that I use less glue. But boy, it's important to make sure that you do get plenty of glue on the strips. I'd rather have some excess glue than have a dry joint. I know that because I've had a dry joint before. For interior work, you can use just about any yellow glue, but I like to buy one of the premium brands. For something where you're making a nice piece of curved trim, it just doesn't make any sense to take a chance on anything less than a really good glue. And of course, make sure it hasn't frozen in the shop, because if it gets lumpy, then it really can turn into a problem. Now, if you're doing exterior work, you're going to need to use some sort of a two-part resin glue, probably. But again, it doesn't matter whether you're gluing straight boards or boards that curve. The same type of glue will work in both applications. I've been told by people that these yellow glues have too much creep in theirs. They never get completely hard, but I never found that was a problem for me. When you have this many strips, they just seem to hold together, and I get very, very little spring back on a piece of casing trim. So what we're going to do is put a really good layer of glue on this. Then we're going to take some plastic wrap and put plastic wrap around both ends, and that's going to keep it from kind of getting away from us while we're doing the glue up. It's just a lot easier if you got a little plastic wrap on the end to keep everything under control. One thing that I did learn, we're going to be flipping these strips up like this as we glue them together, so I don't want to put any glue on this first strip, or else it'll basically glue it to the form. You could also do this with a paint roller. You do it with a brush or just about anything. The main secret is get plenty of glue on there. So I'm going to go back and forth a whole lot with these. And when we get all these strips glued up and turn them back right side up, we should see that V again. One of the other things that we want to remember to do is mark the middle of these strips so that we can put center the glue up on the form when we start bending around. I hate to say it, but a couple of times I've forgotten to do that, and I've almost not had enough length on the strips to reach all the way around the form on one end. You end up with a whole lot of extra strip on one end and short on another end. Unfortunately, you don't find that out until it's too late. Those are the pieces I use for samples later. So if you've ever been to one of my demonstrations, you might have seen one of my mistakes and you just thought I'd made a nice sample for the class to look at. Okay, I think that's plenty of glue. We'll set the roller over here in some water. Okay. So again, what we want to start doing, if you'll work your way around to that end, we just want to flip these up. There we go. Keep the ends lined up. Let's double check. I want to flip. Okay, there's our mark. We've got our V going right. I just like to really pay close attention to that, because if that V isn't going the right direction, you're not going to get the full effect of the grain bending around the piece of trim. I'm going to take and wrap some plastic around this end. Yeah, I'm not trying to make it so tight that we won't be able to get the board to bend around, but it makes it a lot easier. The strips aren't trying to just go everywhere when we're doing this. Okay, now, you have a pencil, Ken? There it is. Thank you. It's about 8'2", so I'll mark 4'1". And we'll take this over to the form.